You won't believe the hot takes flying around in the latest episode of the Faculty Podcast. The crew is diving deep into the controversial relationship between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, and let me tell you, the gloves are off. The central question on everyone's mind: does Travis Kelce feel entitled to Taylor Swift's affection, especially after his past mistakes? Buckle up because this is going to get intense. It's easy to get swept up in the glitz and glamour of celebrity relationships, especially when one half is a football superstar and the other is a global pop sensation. But beneath the surface of this high-profile romance lies a messy web of entitlement, expectations, and questionable behavior. The Faculty Podcast crew isn't holding back as they dissect Kelce's actions, specifically how his prior indiscretions have shaped his current standing with Swift. After all, when you've been caught cheating, can you really expect to waltz into a new relationship without addressing your past? Let's break this down. Travis Kelce has been the talk of the town, not just for his incredible skills on the field, but for his whirlwind romance with Taylor Swift. The narrative is deliciously enticing, the bad boy athlete who seems to have snagged the girl of his dreams. But what happens when you peel back the layers? What does it say about him when he jumps into a relationship with someone as high-profile as Swift, especially after having faced allegations of infidelity? It raises some serious questions about his character and whether he genuinely deserves this second chance at love. The podcast hosts don't mince words as they discuss the entitlement that seems to seep from Kelce's persona. After all, this is a guy who has been in the spotlight long enough to know the consequences of his actions. Yet, despite his past, he seems to carry himself as if he's entitled to Swift's affection simply because of his status as a celebrity. Why should he get a free pass? One host passionately argues. Just because you're a star doesn't mean you can treat people like disposable objects. The conversation quickly shifts to the dynamics of their relationship. Is Taylor Swift aware of Kelce's past? Does she believe he's changed? Or is she just caught up in the whirlwind of fame? The hosts speculate on whether Swift is willing to overlook his previous mistakes for the sake of love, or if she's simply playing with fire. With her history of dating and breaking up with high-profile figures, one can't help but wonder if she's prepared for the emotional roller coaster that comes with dating someone like Kelce. As the discussion heats up, the hosts dive into the implications of Kelce's behavior on Swift's reputation. Is she risking her own image by associating with someone whose past is riddled with questionable choices? The podcast asserts that Swift is a brand in and of herself, and every relationship she enters has consequences. The potential fallout from this relationship could affect her music, her fan base, and even her public persona. Taylor is no stranger to drama, but does she really want this kind of baggage? One host questions. The podcast doesn't shy away from addressing the double standards that often exist in relationships, especially when it comes to powerful men like Kelce. Why is it that men often get a pass for their infidelities while women are scrutinized for their choices? The crew argues that Kelce's entitlement is emblematic of a larger societal issue, where men in his position can act recklessly without facing the same consequences as their female counterparts. It's time to hold him accountable, the host declares, slamming the table for emphasis. Just because he's famous doesn't mean he can escape his past. As they wrap up the discussion, the podcast raises the question of whether Kelce can change. Is there hope for redemption, or is he doomed to repeat his mistakes? The hosts agree that while people can grow and learn from their pasts, the onus is on Kelce to prove that he's worthy of Swift's love and trust. Actions speak louder than words, one host reminds listeners. If he wants to be in this relationship, he needs to show that he's committed to being a better person. In the end, the Faculty Podcast leaves listeners with more questions than answers. The relationship between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift is a complex tapestry woven with fame, fortune, and past mistakes. Whether Kelce feels entitled to Swift's affection or is genuinely trying to turn over a new leaf remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, the stakes are high and the world is watching. Will he rise to the occasion, or will he become just another cautionary tale in the world of celebrity romances? Only time will tell, and fans are left on the edge of their seats, waiting for the next chapter to unfold.